Okay, for this question, take on board that if the digit is white, you can use it 3 times. If the digit is green, you can use it twice. And if it's blue, you can only use it once. So, for the first part, where I've got 76 take away 73 equals 3, we know that works, but why have I used the number 7 twice? Well, a big 7 here means I can use 2 7s because it's green. Same with the 3, it means I can use 2 3s. Obviously one of the 3s is used there. And then the 6 means I can only use it once, which is why I haven't used it in any others. Okay, so nice strategy is to write out what you've already got. For the next one, I've done the same, well, I haven't done the same thing, but I know 73 take away 67 would equal 6, but again, green 7 means you can have 2 7s, a green 6 means you can have 2 6s. So have I got 2 7s there? Yes. 2 6s? Yes. And then 1 3? Yes. So similarly for the last one, white 6, well that's a new one, means we can use the number 6 1 2 3 times, and then we can only use these once. So 1 2 3, have I used 3 6s? Yes. Have I used 1 1? Yes. And have I used 1 9? Yes. And is 16 times 6 96, and hopefully for all of us it is. So 1 mark for each one. Okay, moving on to the next question. Again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write out what I can and can't use. Green we know is 2 zeros, white is 3. So all I've done here is write them down. What can I use? 1 2 zeros, 1 2 3, and I've got to try and make it work. So 10 times 1 is 10. Obviously 1 times 10 is 10. Okay. If you've got any others and you want to check, then please check with your teacher that they work. So for the next one, same thing. Let's write down what I can use. Well, I can use 2 zeros and 3 1s again. So identical to the one above. 10 divided by 10 is 1. So that works. Obviously you could do 10 divided by 1, which is 10 as well. So you could flip these around. Next one then, slightly different numbers now in terms of the colours. A green we know means we have 2. White means 3. So I've got 2 1s and 3 zeros. So how can I make it work? Well, 10 plus 0, 1 2 3, 1 2 3. I've used 3 zeros. I've used 2 1s here and here. Does 10 plus 0 equal 10? Yes, it does. So lovely, that works. Again, if you're unsure, just double check with your teacher. And the last one, then let's have a look here. Exactly the same numbers as above. So what can I use? Again, 2 1s and 3 zeros have to be here. 10 take away 0 would give us 0, so we know that works. You could also have 10 take away 10 would equal 0, as long as you have 1 2, 2 1s and 1 2 3, 3 zeros. Okay, I really like these types of questions, I'm sure you do too. It tells you that the height of each orange block is 6. So what have I done? Well, I've just simply used my diagram. If your diagram's here, use it guys, it's going to help you. 6 and 6 and 6, they're all in a straight line, so I know all 3 of them must equal 18. So if from here to here is 18, we know from here to here is 18. So 1, 2, 3, 4 of these blue blocks has to also equal 18. That's the first part you need to know. Again, I've used my diagram, so I'm going to reiterate that, use it. So what have I done first? Well, I've split up now 18 centimetres, so maybe I should write centimetres there, by 4. Where's that 4 come from? Well, 4 blocks. So divided by 4 gives me 4.5 centimetres, so each blue block has to be 4.5 centimetres. 1 mark if you've noticed that. You've got 18 divided by 4, or the 18 centimetres. Okay, next question, number 2. It took me a while to get my head around this, I had to read it loads. Steve and Alan run 100 metres. Steve runs, in this time, 18.2 seconds. Alan runs half a second faster. So straight away I've written a half as 0.5. You could have written it as 1 over 2. It's entirely up to you. But because it's decimals, I prefer to use 0.5. If Alan runs half a second faster than Steve, this is the part you've got to get your head around, his number's got to decrease by half a second, because if he's faster, well, faster means quicker. Okay, so I wanted to add on 0.5. However, you should be subtracting 0.5. Because he's quicker, therefore 17.7 is a quicker time than 18.2. So 18.2 take away a half is 17.7. Little bit tricky to get your head around. Okay. I'd just like to add, if you have added on the 0.5, you would get 1 out of 2 marks, even though you should have subtracted. Okay, so if some children want to make cards, the children sell 69 of them, we know they've made 85. The question is talking about profit. If I just scroll up a little bit. If you're working at profit, then it's simple. To find out the profit, you've got to find out what you spent first, then subtract the two numbers in terms of what you've made when you've sold them. So, what are our outgoings? I'll try again. Well, we know we made 85 and then 15p for every single one. So I'm going to start by doing 85 cards times 15p to find out the total cost. Now, if you type that in a calculator, you've got 1,275. Remember to divide it by 100 to change it to pounds, or you could have kept it in pennies. So £12.75, you're going to get a mark for that. Now we need to find out how much we've received. Well, we're only selling 69. If we look back at the top, it says we will sell each card for 45. So 69 cards sold at 45p each is £31.05. So this is what we've received. This is what it cost us. We know we've definitely made a profit, but by how much? We'll subtract the two. So let's find out how much. £31.05, subtract the £12.75, gives me an answer of £18.30p. So for your third mark, £18.30, we get a mark for each one of these. Okay, once again, if you have a picture, use it, guys. It helps you. So we know the whole distance from the end of this picture to this picture on the wall here is 116 centimetres. 30 centimetres is lost here, 30 centimetres is lost here, and I want to place another one in the middle which is also 30 centimetres. So if I've got to place another one which is 30 centimetres, I've lost 30 here, 30 here, 30 here. I'm going to start by finding out how much is left between here and here. So to do that, I add the 3 30s and then subtract it from 116. So let's have a look if I've done that. And well, yeah, I have 3 pictures is 3 30s, which gives me the answer of 90. Then I want to find out what space is left. So I've subtracted 116 and 90, which has given me 26 centimetres left over. So if we go back to our diagram, this bit here and this bit here has to equal 26 centimetres. Well, how am I going to find out how big each side is? The key part is in the question here. It says exactly in the middle. So these two gaps have got to be identical, and the only way you can find out if it's identical is by splitting this down the middle, also known as dividing by 2. 26 divided by 2 give me the answer of 13 centimetres. So 1 mark for 90, 1 mark for 26, and then if you've attempted to halve as well, you'll get your third mark, fourth mark for 13 centimetres. Okay, last but not least, Joe cycles to and from the library. Clearly you can see Joe's house is down the bottom of a hill, library up here. So let's just make note of, or make sense of what's going on. Going uphill, his speed is 5 miles per hour, coming downhill is 15. So we know, makes sense really, he's going to go a lot quicker going downhill. Obviously gravity and all that, bringing him down. So what have I done? Well, I'm starting to get my head around 5 miles per hour. I've just changed that and make a little note of 60 minutes. It means the same thing, but it does help you thinking. It means you would go 5 miles in 60 minutes or 15 miles in 60 minutes. Now, where's this 2.5 come from on my diagram? Well, let's have a look. It's 2.5 miles uphill from Joe's house to the library. So all I've done is write 2.5 on there to help my understanding. Okay, let's have a little look at what I've done here. So zoom in. Joe leaves his house at 9:50 a.m. He must be home at 11:15. So I've started to just find the gap between the two. Why? Well, the question does ask how long can you spend at the library. Now the only way you can find out how long you're going to spend there is if first you know how long you've got from the time you leave to the time you need to arrive home. So the gap, be really careful with time. Time is out of 60. I've added on an hour to get to 10:50 and then counted out from 10:50 to 11:15, which is 1 hour and 25 minutes. So be really, really careful if you're typing this in a calculator. Also known as 85 minutes. Okay, I'm going to find things a lot easier if I deal with minutes. So I know I've got 85 minutes to go with, and that includes the time when I leave, get to the library, spend some time there, and come home. So a little bit of a tricky question. Right then, uphill, where does this come from? Let's have a look. 5 miles equals 60 minutes. Well, where's that come from? If you look back at the top of your question, it says you will go 5 miles per hour. Per hour we know is the same as 60 minutes. So all I've written is to go uphill 5 miles, you would travel 5 miles in an hour, in 60 minutes, but we don't need to go 5 miles, we need to go 2.5. Again, from your diagram, 2.5 miles is the distance we need to travel. So where's my 30 come from? Well, if you can travel 5 miles in 60 minutes, half of 5 is 2.5, which is how far we need to go. So I've halved the 60, which is 30 minutes. So 30 minutes is how long it will take me to get there. So now I'm going to work out how long it will take me to get home, but this time we're traveling at a quicker speed. So it's 15 miles in 60 minutes. So it's about trying to get 15 down to 2.5. So there's a couple of ways you could have done it. I've divided 15 by 3 to find out how far I'd go in 5 miles, or how long it would take me, sorry. So if I divide both of these by 3, 60 minutes in 50 miles, 15 miles in 60 minutes rather, means I'd now go 5 miles in 20 minutes. Well, now how am I going to get 5 miles down to 2.5 miles? Because that's how far I need to go. We'll halve it. So it would actually be 10 minutes. So I know it's going to take me 30 minutes to get there, 10 minutes to get home. So I'm going to start by finding out how long I'm going to take traveling. Well, that's the 30 and the 10, which is 40 minutes. But remember, I did make a note up here. I had 85 minutes to play with. So to find out how long I'm going to have at the library, I had the 85 minutes, take away the time of travel, which is 40 minutes, which means I only get 45 minutes in the library. So a bit of an ugly one to finish on, quite long-winded. So where can we get our marks from? Obviously your full fourth, the 45, but if you found out it would take you 30 minutes to get there, 1 mark, 10 minutes to get home, 2 marks. If you've got 85 minutes or 1 hour 25, you'll get a mark for that as well. And obviously the 45 length of it.